There's a question which is an obvious question, which is asked by the Orach Chaim HaKodesh. The order in which Hashem had said to Avram, Lech lo mi'artzcho m'lo'aretcho b'savicho. The order should have been, leave your family, your birthplace, and the land. Once you leave your land, you've left your birthplace, and you've left your family. So why is it specifically in this order? So the main interpretation, which he feels is the correct interpretation, is that when he left Ur Kasdim to go to Choron, he had gone with his family. His father had come with him, and other people had come with him. When he goes to Canaan, where he's going on this mission, and he's going to become a different being, and he's being tested, and he's going to have a special relationship with Hashem, it's not enough to separate yourself from your land. Any of your countrymen cannot come with you. Any of your family cannot come with you. So firstly, number one, you have to leave your location. But it's not enough to leave your location. Even members of your birthplace, members of your community, not only members of your community, even family cannot come with you. So the question is, but Lot did come with him. His nephew did come with him. So he explains, the Torah doesn't say he took Lot. It says, Vayelech imo Lot. Lot went with him, meaning Lot forced himself upon Avram. And Avram didn't want to push him away. He says, even though it says afterwards, Vayikach Avram es Lot, Avram took Lot. First it says in the Pasuk Daled, Vayelech Avram kashidiv elev Hashem, Vayelech ito Lot. And Lot went with him. Okay? Then Pasuk Hey says, Vayikach Avram es Sarai ishto v'eslot ben Ochiv, v'eskol rechusham. I mean, if in Pasuk Hey already tells us, Avram took Sarai ishto and Lot ben Ochiv, why does it have to say, and he took Lot with him? Why is that important? Why does it have to tell us? The answer is, Lot forced himself on Avram. Originally, Avram would have left without him. Why did Lot come? Because he took his own initiative, and once he came, Vayikach Avram es Lot, Avram agreed to take him. But we find later that the first opportunity Avram had to sever the relationship, he severed it. Why? Because he said there was a dispute between his shepherds and the shepherds of Lot, and Avram says, you know something, if we're brothers, I'm here for you, but if you go to the right, I'm going to the left. Extreme. We have to totally part our ways. We cannot be together. And what do we find? It says, Achi pari me'ito Lot. After Lot separated from Avram, that's when Hashem appears to Avram. So Hashem did not appear to Avram to tell him, this is the land I'm giving to you and your children after you, only once Lot separated himself. Of course, Lot was an impediment. When he goes to Canaan, he goes to this land, God can have that relationship if there's any representation of his family. So why was Lot there? Vayelach ito Lot. Lot went with him. But ultimately, and then once he came, Vayikach, he took him. He took his wife, and he took Lot ben Ochiv. Okay?
Rabbi?
One second, I just want to bring out something. The Torah identifies Lot as ben Ochiv. I just want to bring something out. 1 second. At the end of Noach, just bringing out this point, it says, Vayigach terach es Avram, beno v'slot ben Horon, ben beno v'sore kalosa ishes Avram, v'etzim urkazden lechas arz kanon v'yo ad Choron. In the previous parsha, the Torah already identifies Lot as the son of Horon, who was Avram's nephew, correct? So it already identifies him as that. So why over here when it says, Vayikach Yelech ito Lot, then it says, Vayikach Avram es Sarai ishto v'es Lot ben Ochiv. It should say, Vayikach es Lot. What does that say, ben Ochiv? Lot, his nephew. Why? It seems to be totally superfluous. Mark, you hear the question I'm asking?
Yeah. and maybe just to make sure that he is identified as not somebody who's supposed to be with the party.
No, but it already says, the Torah says, Lot went with him, and Avram agreed to take him, right? Maybe you want to say, who is Lot? In the previous parsha, it said, Lot is what? Is the son of Haran, which is what? Which was Avram's brother. So why does the Torah over here have to identify him as Ben Ochiv? Lot, the son of his brother. Seems to be totally superfluous.
Can it be just to emphasize that that he is taking he's taking Lot because he is his brother who died?
Oh, good. That's exactly the point. That what you're saying is correct, 100%. That's exactly what I'm going to say, because we find that Avram was dedicated to his nephew, even when they parted their ways. He says, "I'm your brother. I'm here for you always." Even to the point that when he's taken captive, he went to war against the four mightiest kings. And he put his whole spiritual accomplishments in jeopardy, because to bring about those miracles, he may have depleted all his merits. And Lot was a bad person. He went to Sodom, and he went back to Sodom. I mean, if this is the person who he is, just cut your ties with him. Have no relation with the man. Why are you so dedicated to him? So we've said exactly what you're saying. Because he owed it to his brother, because his brother was the first human being to give his life al Kiddush Hashem. From the beginning of creation till that moment, nobody ever died for God. Haran died for God. Lot was Ben Ochiv. That's what the Torah. Why did he agree? We said he forced himself on Avram. He should have said, disappear. Why did he push him away? The answer is because he's Lot Ben Ochiv. Vayelech, he told Lot, as the Ohr HaChaim called, he forced himself on Avram. Avram really would have left without him. Once he says he didn't want to embarrass him. Now the question is, why not? The answer is, because he's Ben Ochiv. That since Lot is Ben Ochiv, and his brother was that special person, therefore he would not, until he had the first excuse to separate himself, was when there was the dispute between his shepherds and the shepherds of Lot. That's exactly what you're saying is correct. That's the Ben Ochiv. Mark.
But I just want to ask before, I'm sorry, that he said that the Ohr HaChaim is saying that he shouldn't take anybody with him. Right, just leave everything, people, family, and go. But in the pasuk it says,
"That's something else."
So
those are his
converts.
No. Those are converts. It's something else.
I know. So why?
No, the
why
whole idea.
them?
No. This is the idea. Why did Avram leave Haran? He could have done his outreach there, because Hashem says you will not succeed here. As I gave the example. It's the equivalent of a cemetery. You can't revive the dead. These people are gone. He had people who he did succeed with. Whatever he succeeded with, that's like Gershon Skat Shalom Domi. When a person converts, he's like a new human being. He made those souls. The souls he made, those he took with him. But anybody else who represented whatever that representation was, Hashem says you have to sever those ties. You cannot be associated with those people. Lot was not Nefesh She'osa B'chono. That was that representation of the negative. That you have to sever that. So he shouldn't have, and that's the Ohr HaChaim, when he had his first opportunity, he separated from him. This is Eliot's favorite word. Eliot, it says, Vayelech ito Lot. When originally he had gone, it was ito. Ito, as we always explain, is always secondary. There's no interpretation word S. He went as an adjunct to Avram. He recognized, it's Avram, I'm coming with you, Avram, in a secondary position. Later, we'll see, just let's turn the page a little bit. When he came back from Egypt, one second. Posuk, Perak Yud Gimel Posuk Aleph. Vayal Avram Mitzrayim hu v'ishto v'chol asher lo v'lot imo hanegbo. Yeah? When Lot came back from Egypt, he came back a wealthy man. He came back emo. It says it's not velot ito. Lot is no longer in a secondary position. He's emo. He's as an equal. And the Torah tells us in Pasuk Vov, in Pasuk Hey, Gam Lot holech Avram hoyo tzonu bokav ohalim. Lot, when he came back from Egypt, also had sheep, cattle, and tents, meaning he had slaves. And then there was the dispute between the shepherds of Avram and the shepherds of Lot. And that's when Avram says, and the Torah tells us, where is it? Pasuk, the end of Pasuk Yud Aleph, Vayisa Lot mikedim. Lot traveled mikedim from the east, literally. Vayipardu ish me'alochim. So Rashi says, what's mikedim? Pasuk Yud Aleph. Nosam eitz Avram. Yeah. Then he says, Mejish agodo hesev atzmo mikadmor shalom. Mikedim means he detached himself from the kadmor shalom, from the originator of the world. Omar efshi lo ba'avrom v'lo b'lokov. I have no interest not in Avram, not in his God. That's emo. When it was ito, he told the line. The moment he felt he's the equivalent of Avram, he says, don't tell me how to live my life. I'm not interested in you. I'm not interested in your God. Don't dictate to me. I'll do my own thing. So factually, he was a bad guy. He forced himself on Avram initially, but he took him. Why did he take him, as we're saying? Ben Ochiv, because he was his nephew. But ultimately, the moment he had that moment where he could establish his independence, his independent identity, he does what he wants. So later, it revealed itself why Hashem didn't want any representation of his family, because in actuality, this is what he was, Lot. Okay.
So, Rabbi, Haran is both a name, is his brother, as well as a name of a place? Why does it say?
Choron. Choron and Horon. Choron's the name of the community. Horon was his brother.
So what's the difference?
Again, you went to day school in Washington, D.C.? There they pronounce the ches and the hey the same way? Is it Hali or Chali? Okay.
It's Hamotzi.
Okay, good. Jay's getting it. Okay.
I'm sorry, just a quick question on Lot when they go to Mitzrayim.